This is BQ Prime. I am Agam Vakil, and you're watching the F&O Show, a show in which we take you through all that is happening in Indian markets and the derivative space, specifically futures and options. Well, let's start by taking a look at what's happening this Wednesday morning. Remember, there is no weekly expiry today, but both the Bank Nifty and the Nifty indices will expire tomorrow as far as your weekly options are concerned, because it is the month end. That said, as far as the Nifty goes, currently trading at around 19,300 precisely at this very moment, and there hasn't been too much weakness despite the expectations, some sort of a building of expectations in terms of the kind of moves that we saw last Monday. Yesterday, of course, was a holiday, and as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, well, it's currently trending about that all-important 43,500 mark, currently at 43,350 precisely. And while the downtrend has been established in both these indices over, I would say, the last 1 month, the real question is, are we looking at a halt? Are we looking at, perhaps, could we expect a bout of short covering, or is there a bigger possibility now of further correction? On the back of that, at least as far as tomorrow's expiry is concerned, let's quickly take a look at where your options are currently trending and where we're seeing most amount of activity. So as far as the Nifty is concerned, for the 26th October expiry, at the moment, max OI standing at around 19,500 call and the 19,000 put. 19,000 level, remember, is also a little bit of a psychological barrier at the moment, so it could perhaps provide a little bit of a resistance, a support in given tomorrow's expiry. We're also 300 points higher than 19,000 at the moment, and of course a lot of activity is also at around 19,300 calls and puts in today's day of trade. As far as the Bank Nifty goes, again, the picture isn't very different. We are looking at 44,000 on the higher end and 43,000 on the lower end in terms of max OI with respect to calls and puts respectively, and 43,300 is exactly where we are seeing more and more writing coming through. So perhaps a lot of straddles written at the 43,300 mark. But that said, this is as far as your markets are concerned right now. Where are we headed now from here on? Not only keeping tomorrow in mind, but perhaps we taking a positional view over the next few days and perhaps a week as well. Let's get in an expert voice. We have Ajit Mishra. He's the SVP of Research at Religare Broking, who's joining us on the show. Ajit, good morning and thank you so much for joining in. How are you reading these data points, and how would you play the Nifty specifically going forward?
Yeah, good morning, Agam, and thank you for having me. So, first thing, Agam, that almost like 3 months now that the index has been hovering in a band. Though the band is slightly on the broader side, 19,200 to 20,200 is what we have been seeing this index hovering in, and now we are trading closer to that lower band. After the sell-off in Monday's session. Indications are in the favor that yes, it could take a breather around 19,200 mark once, and there could be an attempt of recovery. But the underperformance of the banking, that is something which might deteriorate the sentiments. And in case if it happens, means in case Nifty fails to hold 19,200, gradually 18,800, that's the 200 days of exponential moving average, Nifty might inch toward that level. So as of now, indications are more on the bearish side, and the bias is not going to change until we reclaim 19,800, 850 levels decisively. So in between is going to be sideways to negative bias. Positionally is what the markets are indicating. Intraday, I feel that after the last session's fall, somehow that there's a tussle going on around 19,300 mark, for the Nifty, but the tone is still on the negative side. It means we're still seeing the market breadth on the negative side with 200 shares advancing and 1,900 plus shares on the downside. And another important aspect that in the last trading session, after several weeks, we saw that the broader indices witnessed a very sharp decline, nearly like 3-4% kind of a cut in mid cap and small cap space. So all this put together, indicates that this negativity which we are seeing in the market is not going to subside anytime soon. And yes, there'll be a pause in between, but it's going to be a shorting opportunity in case if we see any rebound. So for Nifty, for the banking index, one should maintain sell on rise. For Nifty, 19,400 to 450 is the area of going fresh shorts, where 19,600 is a stop and 19,200 to 19,000 is the target area. Similarly, for the banking index, it has already slipped below the long-term averages. So any rise toward like 43,900, 44,100, one should look for shorting opportunity with 44,300 as a stop and 43,200 to 43,000 as a positional target.
Right. So the next question in that case would be, Ajit, that if someone were to play, a significantly, well, I would say, a larger short, in terms of larger position, you would reckon that the Bank Nifty is weaker than the Nifty at the moment?
Yeah, that's true, because we still have 400, 500 points away from the long-term averages when it comes to the Nifty index. So that clearly shows that we still have room. And in fact, the banking index have clearly formed a double top formation on the daily chart when it made an attempt to reclaim its record high. And since then, we have been seeing this decline continuing in the banking index. Plus, the banking majors like SDFC, Kotak, they were the underperformers. Then Axis and ICICI, which were holding well, they are also witnessing selling pressure. So the private banking majors were the one which was holding the banking index, and there's no respite on that front. So definitely among these two, banking looks much weaker.
Okay. Well, fair enough, Ajit. Well, let's shift focus to stocks then. And very quickly, let me reiterate all the stocks which are buzzing in trade. For now, at least as far as the gainers go, we have some gains in Ambuja Cement, which is up around 1.4%. Kotak Mahindra Bank is also up around 1%. And along with SBI, in fact, which is also up 1%. I reckon these two banks are the ones which are giving some sort of a support as far as the banking index is concerned. And Adani Ports also looking at a little bit of a recovery since what we saw on Monday. That said, on the losing end, we don't have too much, but we do have Infosys, which is under just a tad bit of pressure. ICICI Bank marginally in the green. And it's the same for something like a Tata Motors, which is currently going in and out of red and green. Ajit, what about the stocks that are under your radar, and how would you play them?
Still means we are closer to the lower band of the consolidation, 19,200. So there could be a possibility that Nifty might make an attempt of a recovery or a rebound. So it's not that outrightly one should look for short positions, but yes, since the bias is in the negative side, one should maintain shorts as a preference. But as of now, I feel that among the pharma majors, Dr. Reddy is one counter which one can look to accumulate and buy even at current levels, with 54.15 as a stop and 58.40 as a target. Because after almost 3 months of consolidation, now we are seeing a bit of a recovery after the base formation around 5,400 mark in Dr. Reddy's. And in case if there will be further decline in the market, I feel that pharma is going to outperform. There could be a bit of a profit taking because most of the pharma names, they have done pretty well in the recent past. But Dr. Reddy's, I feel, is less likely to participate in that move. So Dr. Reddy is the one candidate on the long side. On short side, SDFC Bank, since banking we have a clear-cut negative view, and SDFC is leading from the front on the downside. So I feel that this recent consolidation that we have seen in banking major is an opportunity to go short with 15.40 as a stop and 14.40 as a positional target.
Okay, so that's one long and one call coming in from Ajit. And at the moment, of course, we're looking at markets holding on to the marks that we spoke about just a few minutes earlier. So Nifty currently at 19,300 and Bank Nifty just short of the 43,350 odd mark. But Ajit, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining in and taking us through your views on the markets and also giving us a couple of your calls as far as stocks go. We are going to be signing out for now, but don't go anywhere. There's lots more lined up, so stay tuned to BQ Prime and we'll keep bringing you more.